Six Flags Over Texas had a strong show lineup for Holiday in the Park in 2025, and moved these shows around so they complemented their Christmas walkway beautifully. As a park, they seem to struggle with their shows. Normally, what they have seems to be hidden on smaller stages with the hope that you'll just see the shows while wandering around, instead of actually planning to experience seeing their high-quality shows. Since the Cedar Fair merger, this seems to have improved, and the lineup this year was nearly identical to 2024, though it is still super easy to get front row seats to most of the shows. My big question, did the shows that need to improve get better? Find out in this countdown. Number 8. Storytime with Mrs. Claus. This show seems to replace smaller kid-oriented shows and was a nice, though small theater next to Twas a Merry Mishap and the Mistletones stage. With Mrs. Claus doing an excellent job reading a book, we read Bear Stays Up for Christmas, but she has different books that she will rotate throughout the day, with interactive elements both for you as the participant and with the help of her trusty elves. As someone who has given and seen many read-alouds, this is a fantastic experience for kids that executes this common Christmas event much better than other Christmas places will. Still, as an adult, I can only find the experience so enjoyable, and I rank shows by how much I want to seek them out to watch again in the future. But if you have young kids, I would absolutely make sure to catch one or even two shows of this on your visit to Six Flags Over Texas. Number 7. The Mistletones. This is another show that was hurt by a small on-the-path venue last year. This year it moved indoors to the Crazy Horse Saloon. Last year, this was at the courthouse stage and the sound quality did not seem to be the best. Moving the show creates a warmer area for guests to watch, but the background music seemed a bit too loud in that it drowned out the strong vocals of this group, which seemed to be a common complaint with some other shows here at Over Texas. The song selection for the show is a bit older in style, but with the humor of the group, this was fine, and is a neat mix of Christmas caroling and a female singing group, but just doesn't execute well enough to be catchy or super memorable. Number 6. Tree Lighting Ceremony. At Six Flags Fiesta Texas, the tree lighting ceremony is one of my favorite moments at Holiday in the Park, but the one at Over Texas lacks that special charm. With no pre-show, this is only a 7-minute affair, and the song selection is good with a nice medley of short clips of various songs, many of which are unique Christmas songs, which works really well for this type of show. So you should be engaged for the brief period of the show with the blitz of music. The lighting of the tree itself does have a countdown, but the whole tree lights up at once, so it just feels a bit less than it could be. Then, although the performers are solid, I just feel there could be a bit more to really make this a total extravaganza. The plaza area itself also does not have any seating for the event, so you kind of have to stand to find room, which might not be the easiest, especially with kids. And the sound quality here is not the best either. For 2025, the tree stage was removed, and the show was moved back to the carousel stage, which makes sense, but this was not clearly communicated to guests, so many came to view the show only to be standing in the wrong place, myself included. Number 5. Twas a Merry Mishap. This is a skit for kids that goes kind of through the poem Twas the Night Before Christmas. This switched venues this year to the courthouse stage, so there is at least some seating for families, and the sound quality of this venue is much improved. Last year, it was very hard to hear the elves while they were being zany and silly. But this year, all their lines land cleanly, while you can get a nice up-close view of the performance. Last year, the show had a pre-show, plus was a bit longer. Now it clocks in only at 10 minutes, with families allowed to take pictures with the elves afterwards. For young kids, who get restless, this adjustment makes sense as it caters this show to its target audience. As an adult though, I'm left wanting just a bit more from this performance. But this is the most improved show at Holiday in the Park this year. Number 4. Holidaze. Over Texas is big on having a pre-drop show, and this brings in the Looney Tune characters to help with that, while making for a really special way to start off your day. However, for 2025, the time was moved to 30 minutes before rope drop, so I did miss this on my visit as it ended well before rope drop itself. There's also a 5 p.m. show later in the day, but I missed seeing this on the app and website in my planning. The sound quality with the stage isn't the best, but that does work fine for this show as it's just Bugs Bunny and friends dancing to various Christmas songs. I love seeing Six Flags use the Looney Tunes in shows. This is a great way to do that while staying true to how Six Flags Over Texas does shows. I just wish the show times fit in better with one's day at Over Texas. Number 3. The Yule Logs. Located at the Boomtown Bar, people will likely be eating, making getting a seat not the easiest. These two singers, though, provided quality renditions of Christmas classics while having engaging dialogue between the songs to make for an enjoyable set. The song selection is enjoyable, though a bit on the slower side, which makes for more of a reflective and pensive feel that contrasts nicely with their witty and humorous dialogue. Further, the roof over the seating area makes for solid sound quality. So unlike most other shows at Over Texas, this one allows the music to be easily heard while watching the show. The performance I saw in 2024 was excellent, but my 2025 show was a bit less. So there is some variability with this show, but it still should be a fun and enjoyable experience. Number 2. Holly Jolly Trolley. Another show that changed venues, this is now located at the 6 Universe stage, which is the Holly Jolly Trolley stage right outside Bugs Bunny Boomtown. The previous location of the Christmas tree was probably missed by most guests, and this was super easy to stumble upon performances of this show. The song selection here is really solid, with the show starting off with a Polar Express song and then Baby It's Cold Outside, both of which are my 2 favorite song performances that I've seen this Christmas season. These songs allow the performers to do a bit more acting and choreography, and I'm kinda surprised that Fiesta Texas does not have a similar show with their deep lineup. With the seats and better sound quality this year, this show is now in a venue that allows guests to truly love how great this show is. Number 1. Tinker's Toy Factory. Billed as the Christmas extravaganza show for Holiday in the Park, Tinker's Toy Factory does not disappoint as a magical Christmas performance. Having seen the acrobatic show Frost last year, I was hopeful that this would tie similar feats in nicely with Christmas song and dance, as Frost did, while adding a bit of extra story elements for families, something that was missing from Frost. And it does just that, giving a great performance for everyone looking for a solid Christmas show. Some of the songs were a bit hard to hear, as they had a squeaky elf tone to them, which took away some of the magic, at least for me. And the acrobatic feats were a bit dialed down this year, though many were combined with incredible choreography to go along with dancing elves. So these performances were very impressive nonetheless. As a fan of traditional Christmas songs, I did like Frost better, but the show absolutely has more family appeal. I just wish the songs were a bit more clear and catchy to make this truly the engaging experience that it should be. Which shows at Six Flags Over Texas's Holiday in the Park are your favorite? Do you wish they used their other theaters more? Let me know. And as always, Kapkun Krop.
Went all through the house, not a creature. Meet and greets all day, okay?
Thank you, Adam. Such a fun little song right there.